So I figure it's about time to talk about a mobile suit that is one of my favorites, probably in top 5, the Strike Freedom. I mentioned a few times, this is the original high grade, the one that came out when the series came out, and it's got issues, like mostly the fact that it's a cookie cutter assembly like most of the Seed and Destiny kits. You know, you got half arms, half shoulders, half legs, seam lines for days, needing quite a few stickers. I have put a little bit of Gundam marker on a few parts here, but yeah, it definitely needs, it wasn't as bad as Freedom, but it's still not that good. And it's very squat and chunky looking, as I don't really think it should be. I did appreciate the fact that the Dragoons could come off, and you got a set of effect parts, but I think it was only a set for 4 in total of the Dragoons to be displayed coming out. So that was a little annoying. I think you had, like, pretty much had to buy 2. And I had to deal with that for a long time, being unhappy with one of my favorite suits as a high grade, until the Revive came along, and it's so good. I love the size of it. Let's bring in the original here. Like, it's just so much bigger and beefier, and it's like beefier but thinner than, like, it's not as squat and chunky and kit. Oh hey, yeah, whatever. Hey, just like it did in the movie. There we go. But it just yeah, it's so much better in every respect. It's nice to have the original. It's a novelty, really. Like, but this is what you wanted. It does have stickers still. Most notably the blue around the beam rifles. They probably could have done that better. Even when this thing came out, I can't remember. I think it was the 16, 17. I should have looked. And it's got good posability, because it's like, this is when posability was getting up there, and it still is. Like, it's got the good the way they did the torso, so you have like a good ab crunch and even some tilting on the side. Beam saber. But yeah, double elbows are great. Skirts. I like some of the other ones that have the track that slides down. This one just, like, you just kind of shimmy back and forth, which I never really thought that was like useful at all. But they still have it. Yeah, the beam rifles do get in the way, of course, because they're pegged in there. But if you get those off, you can split very easily, which is good. And everything else is pretty good. Nice toes, a nice popping off. And the wings are good. They have, like, obviously these parts can move separately, but then they have an extra hinge in the wing, so you can definitely spread it out. I also don't like the fact that these gold parts here on the wings are stickers. I think they could have made those just pieces. Like, I mean, I guess they'd have to have 4 extra pieces, and that might be too much for the budget, I guess. Oh, and I guess I might as well talk about the beam rifle since I took one off. But this is the one thing I really like about the Strike Freedom, is having the railguns on the back, and they're on a track, so they can slide forward. So when the beam rifles aren't there, you got those. So there's always something on the side. I really like that. And the beam sabers, they do come off. I still like the way they, like, these. I like how they're like this on the side, but they're not that much better than the ones when they're on the hips up here. It's very easy to knock them off if you're moving it around. Although I really appreciate the fact that you just can combine them and make a beam staff. You don't have, like, an extra piece laying around. Just, no, they're right there. I don't mind them having the end piece like that. I mean, I think it makes sense. I don't know why. Sometimes they're like, oh god, we don't want to show that for some strange reason. I'll just leave these off. They'll probably fall off again anyways. And the railguns are simplified compared to the Freedoms. I like Freedoms how it, like, unfolds. I always thought that was a cool little gimmick. It just kind of, it's simple, probably faster, but it just, I don't know, it loses something. You know what I'm saying? I think you know what I'm saying. And of course you have the beam effects. I think it just came with one, yeah. Just had the one. Yeah, it got the, I don't know, I like the clear. It's nice. Maybe it could be a little foggier, but I like how clear it is. It has a hint of blue. So yeah, I like that. And even the face. I like the face. I think the face is really good. It's very, I don't know, its torso is very, like, commanding. I don't know if that makes sense, but something about the torso and the head, like, there's just the upper body. I really love the proportion on this guy compared to the little dumpy boy here. And of course, the Dragoons still come off. Just, although I like the old one because it just slid kind of like this, but these ones you gotta slide down. And it's a pain in the butt. And I'm sorry if there's some yellowy on my hand. Turns out some seasoning powders can stain the hands. Anyways, so they got these little grooves and stuff in here because there is a P-Bandai of this set with the wings of the skies and like all the effect parts to make it do the full burst mode. It's so awesome. Of course, this P-Bandai, so it's also so expensive, which is annoying because the old one, even though it only came with 2 effect parts, you could still have some of your Dragoons displayed, and it's from the base kit. You didn't have to buy a more expensive variant just to get what you wanted there. Oh, and I guess I can't forget about how the beam rifles combine. Of course, you got the there we go. And thankfully, very simple. Just slides right in the hand. You don't have to take the hand cover off. I know some people probably don't like that because it's like it should have a little in thingy, but I just like the fact that it just goes in. I don't have to fight with it. Boom, done. You got them right in there. And they do the combination. I always forget which one's which because they're both distinct in how they transform. And they got this one. Keep the handle and just pull that stock thingy. I love it in the show when he does this. Just like just right in. Just I don't know why I find that really cool. You just jam it. And it's not really heavy, so you don't have to worry about him. I mean, okay, the hinge is crap. He'll hold it fine, but the hinge, no good. No good hand. Oh, that's too bad. I still like it. I mean, it comes with an open hand too, so you can hold it, so you can have it like that. Not a big deal. And that's where it's been for a while, until this year, where I got a knockoff of it. Boom, boom, boom. And I don't know the company because it's not, I mean, maybe it is JMS because it does have some interesting stuff with it, but this is the company. Like, that's what this says. I don't know. Was that can anybody translate that? But yeah, it doesn't seem to have any even number, letters or symbols or something saying what the company is. But anyways, it's mostly the same. Color gold is different. The official one is a much lighter gold, but I really like the darker one. Maybe that's just me, but I'm a big fan of this darker gold on the knockoff. But I think everything else is basically the same. The stickers are crap. Not surprising, really. But I'm okay with that. And everything holds together fine. Although this wing here broke. But funny thing is, the wing, this wing I think it is on the old one broke before. But yeah, it just I went to rotate it and snap. But like I said, it can happen on an official one. So, you know, I mean, granted it took years, it wasn't right out of the box, but hey, I glued it back on. It seems to be fine, and I can still raise the wings, and it holds fine. I don't have a problem. That's a good thing. These wings, you think that there might be like a droopy issue after a while, but I've had this one since it came out, and the wings still seem to be pretty stiff. Pretty stiff. So I think you're okay there. And it still has the same shield. This is actually the knockoff one I just showed, because I don't know where the other one is. So it's really nice clear. They did a good job knocking that off. No bubbling that I can see. It looks really nice. And of course the beam rifles, I didn't know, they look kind of boring without the blue, but those stickers were not staying on, so not a big deal. Funny thing, the beam sabers hold way better. And I'm not going to give it to age. It's just they're pegged in. I'm not pulling them off, putting them on all the time. It's been pegged into those baskets for however many years it came out. 2016, I finally decided to look. Stop saying I don't know. 2016, this guy came out. But then that P-Bandai set with all the effect parts came out in 2019. So I mean, if you're gonna get the Strike Freedom, probably already got it. And then 3 years later, there's another one with the parts you want. But this guy comes with half of that. It comes with the Wings of the Sky, but not the beam effects to have all the beam rifles and the Dragoons and the tummy and the tummy gun firing at the same time. But this is still really cool. I really love these, and they look really nice. The clear on this knockoff parts are very good. Clear is usually hard to do for them, but Maybe it's just recent, I don't know, but they've gotten really good with the whole clear thing. Now, there are two different ways to display the Dragoons. You can actually slide them up into the end pieces, so it looks like they're launching, or there are these very hard to see little holes right here, and they will have they will use these, and these ones go into those holes, and then you have it look like they're shooting forward. That would be for the full burst sort of thing. I mean, yeah, you don't have the effect parts, but you can just pretend, right? Now, the way they go in, they got these little teeth that go around the these little chunky bits here on the wing where the Dragoons go. Kind of go around it, and you just have to kind of like fiddle with it because they are knockoffs, and it's still pretty good. But I would be careful because I've already seen little cracks forming where these are plugged in. Like there's little teeny cracks around the hole. So yeah, I don't want to be too forceful with these effect parts. They do click in very nicely, but just keep that in mind if you get this guy that it is a knockoff. But it looks great. Look, there's no gap that I see anyways. Maybe the camera's showing something, but I think that looks pretty good. No, I think this looks pretty awesome. Granted, it would look even better with all the effect parts, but for 15 bucks, that looks pretty good. Now, this is actually with the official one, and these effect parts went on perfectly. They're really easy to get on. The Dragoons, some went on really tight, and I probably won't get them off without breaking these little like energy effects that they have. And then some are really, really loose. So that's just the way it is. You take your chances, sort of thing. But wouldn't it be nice to see what it looks like the other way around when they're like the Dragoons are just shooting out? Well, I did, for whatever reason I wasn't thinking, ordered a second knockoff. I wasn't even planning to. So I can take the effect parts, and you can see this is how it looks like when they're all shooting out. And there's a lot more going on. Like it looks like there's a lot more going on from the sides, obviously, because they're shooting straight out. So that takes up a lot of real estate on a shelf. Thankfully, Knockoff comes with a stand. The officials, I don't think came with a stand. The P Bandai with all the parts came with a stand, I'm pretty sure. But so you will be able to display it on a stand, because it's obviously way too long to. I mean, you could put these up, I guess, more, but it looks so good, I'd want to have it on a stand. And the beam rifles, the handles are actually perfect on these. They're not loose at all. Unfortunately, I can only have one in the hand because I don't know what happened to the other handle. I think it might have fallen into the bag when I was taking the parts out of the plastic baggies, and it's gone forever. I'll just keep them on the side skirt. It's not a big deal. And another thing you might notice, the V-fin is a little different. It's got blue. This is something that the Knockoff comes with. You get a blue V-fin if you don't want to have the regular yellow V-fin. Which, you know what, I never really thought about it. That's the only yellow on the kit, is that V-fin piece. Everything else is like gold. So I kind of like that. I gotta say, I kind of like that. If I can get both of them side by side with all these effect parts, God. It really does change the look of it, right? With that yellow missing. It's definitely different. Oh, and something else that the Knockoff comes with that the official doesn't. Water slide decals. So that's always nice to have, right? I like having those. So I'm really happy with the Knockoff version. Like, I love the official, obviously. That's why I bought it. But it's such a huge, massive improvement from the original that came out like almost 20. I think it's about 20 years ago now. And this the Knockoff, once again, 15 bucks. You get a lot, I think. Like, sure, it would have been nice to have the effect parts to have them blasting, but I love these Wings of the Sky. And the Knockoff, getting these effect parts on, way harder than the official. Like, I think one of the tabs broke. That one right there, I think, yeah. It broke off trying to fit it in perfectly. This was way easier with the official, so if you want to get it just for the effect parts, it'll work better on your official than it will on the Knockoff. So, it's kind of funny.